looking a little rough. I don't know what happened, if we got some acid rain or something the other night, but I left some terrible, terrible spots. But we're all ready to go. We're not gonna do anything too crazy. Not gonna get too aggressive, but she needs a paint correction for sure. Wet. Woo wee, she looks good. A lot of work. My, oh my, whew. Now that a sealer has been applied to the Q, we'll get the wheels and tires shined up, and then I'm taking the 335 over to Upstate Performance to get a full inspection done on it to make sure we are heading in the right direction with maintenance on our way to making more power. So good news, guys, got the car back from Upstate Performance here in town. They took a good, thorough look at the 335i, and the news wasn't too bad. Actually, in their words, for the number of miles, the 134,000 miles that are on this car, it is in pretty good shape. Excellent. Suspension and brakes seem to be in good condition, which is good news, and oil pan gasket, valve cover gasket, all look brand new to them, which is excellent. The things that are wrong are kind of things that I already pointed out. The oil filter housing is starting to seep a little bit. He said it wasn't a major concern yet. Obviously, we want to get that taken care of, but what I pointed out was that I want to get an oil cooler for this car because they didn't come with an oil cooler from factory. So you need a different housing for that. And I hate to change out the gasket and then have to pull it all off when I install the oil cooler and change things up. So he agreed. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. In fact, he actually had one with the proper ports on it and got me a good deal on it, so I picked it up. So here she is, the complete thing with the cooler attached to the oil filter housing already with the proper ports. So we're all set to go with this one. Probably we'll just do the typical maintenance on it to make sure it's all ready to go when we switch out the main gasket here. We'll take it all apart and make sure everything is in good condition. And we'll see what kind of, pieces that the aftermarket oil cooler comes with itself, and we'll piece everything together. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Already sprayed it down and wiped it off a little bit, but it's in pretty good shape. I thought it'd be fun but it's cast aluminum, so I wonder if we can polish it at all. Give it kind of a unique look compared to everyone else, but that's beside the point. A couple other little things. We got a PCV valve, and then the billet water neck, cooler neck, whatever the hell that's called. I don't know if this is a hint to anyone or not, but we got that. And we're gonna modify the cowl a little bit, clean up the engine bay. Aside from the car being in good shape overall, we attribute the slight hesitation at idle to be from at least one failing injector. So injectors ordered today. Should be here in a couple days. So I think we're actually in pretty good shape, moving right along. And once we get these injectors in and coated, I think we'll be set with the maintenance items and we will start making some power. Oh, and I started tinting the windows too, and I reminded myself just how much I hated doing that. So I did the quarter glass, not doing the door glass. I'm gonna take that in and have the professionals do it, so stay tuned for that too. He pointed out to the malfunctioning cup holder in the BMW, of course. I don't know if I told you got the hood shock switched out. Very nice, held up nice and secure. So we're looking pretty clean in here. Just ready to get everything dialed in, get these injectors installed because I'm ready to start modifying. Maintenance stuff gets tedious, and that's really where the costs add up on these cars, is just maintaining it and keeping everything clean and sealed and running proper. But this is the guy we gotta swap out. So, boom, falls right in place. Right there, if you're not familiar. You don't have anything dripping down the front, but on the underside of, which you'll never be able to see here, of the alternator, and on the back side, down in there, we can see some evidence of drippage. Anyway, I'll take care of it. Taking one out of Budget Beamer's playbook, but doing it slightly different. I'm going to leave a little extra plastic here to cover the strut bars. I'm going to leave a little bit here so we can put some more weather stripping, or whatever you want to call that. Just because I don't know how clean of an edge we can get along here, but also any level of protection to prevent any more water from running in to the engine bay, the better, I guess. So that's the route we're going. There we go. A couple of zip ties make a big difference. Really cleaned it up. I don't know why I did it, honestly, when we have to replace the injectors, but whatever. Wanted to see what it looks like. And we got plenty of zip ties. Cool. Well, that came quick. It looks much worse in person than it does on camera. We'll finish up the trimming of the cowl piece. I think this will really clean it up. Put some of this the foam weather stripping back in. I want to get some additional pieces here, but this stuff it's just too tight. It won't fit on here properly and stay. So we're gonna figure out a solution just to kind of clean this up. Although we did sand the edge, we as in myself, with 220, just to get it nice and smooth. Worked out great. Looks pretty sharp. Can't wait to install it, but I don't want to put it in until we get the injectors replaced. It's just kind of nonsense to put it all in, get the wires all strapped in, and then have to pull it all out to replace the injector. So this is it for now, and we have another project to do. We are going to clean up the interior panel door trim. Door trim was in, well, at least one of them, the driver's side. Silver trim piece was in kind of rough shape, so I got a little bit of carbon fiber wrap, and we'll clean it up. I'm gonna pop it off with a little pry tool here and get to work. It's actually really quite easy to pop these little pieces off. They're just little tabs in there. Plastic pry tool, a little bit of leverage, and oh, come on, of course. It just pops out. It's hard left-handed, but seriously, once you get pulled away, it just kind of run your fingers down it and pop them all out. Nice. I actually dig it. There we go. A little bit of flash, I guess. Some camera lighting. You can really see the carbon fiber. Actually, this Vivid Vinyl gloss carbon fiber looks pretty dope. Turned out good. There is the driver's side. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I'm not a huge carbon fiber fan. I think less is more when it comes to carbon fiber, but this driver's side door trim piece in particular was a little bit rough toward the edge of the door. I don't know if the previous owner had a dog that got excited when they got home from work, but it had some nicks and scratches in it. So actually the gloss doesn't help necessarily, but the carbon fiber texture kind of masks some of those little nicks. I did sand it down with 220 and got it pretty smooth, but I couldn't get all the little nicks and stuff out. but that carbon fiber texture makes a big difference in kind of hiding some of those imperfections. So really pleased. I like the gloss of it. You can tell this is actually really decent. Even, you know, applying the film, the vinyl, to the panel and rubbing it with just bare fingers, didn't leave any fingerprints or scratches or hazing or anything. So I'm actually pretty impressed with the gloss characteristics of this carbon fiber, and it actually, the depth is really good too. Pretty pumped on it. So I gotta do the back pieces here. I only have 2-inch trim, 2-inch vinyl. So I'm not gonna be able to do the dash piece here, and I was actually gonna hold off because I don't mind the silver all that much, and this combination doesn't look that bad. But I know if I did this carbon fiber, I'm gonna have to do the console and carbon fiber, and I don't know that I want to do that just yet. So we're gonna roll with the door pieces for now, and we'll see how it goes. Back seat trim done, both sides. Pimp. Good, folks. Looks real good. Taillights aren't in too bad a shape, but I don't like how rough and weathered this is looking. So I'm gonna try to sand this down a bit, hit it with a little bit of polishing, and just smooth it out. And then we're going to wrap this with smoke vinyl tint. So it's not gonna make it too dark, not gonna be too noticeable. So it'll be pretty subtle, still keep it glossy, but we'll hide some of this kind of nastiness. All right, sanded smooth to the touch with 600 grit sandpaper all the way around. You can still see it, but you can't feel the texture anymore. So that will just ensure that the vinyl wrapper will adhere properly. So now I'm gonna polish it just to clear the lens up, because obviously when you tint it, you know, it dulls the light slightly as well coming out of the tail light itself. I'll do this too. It's actually broken, but anyway, because the tint is gonna dull it, we don't want the lens to be dull itself. So I'll polish it clear, or as clear as we can get it, and then we'll wrap it. There, and little mineral spirits to just get rid of any of the polishing compound residue, and surround the taillights with masking tape. That just allows the vinyl wrap to release a little bit better from the areas that you don't want to be vinyl wrapped. So you can see the difference is pretty subtle. It's not quite as red. The gloss is retained, but that white portion is not so nasty. And here is the final product. I really like the Vivid Vinyl Smoke Taillight Tint. It's not too dark, but it still is quite glossy. It's easy to use. These taillights are pretty easy to wrap, actually, compared to some. I like it. Sorry, this was a little bit of a random video, guys, but we got a lot of things going on with a couple of different vehicles. So just wanted to show a few things that are in the works right now. Hopefully you enjoyed, but stick around. We got some things coming up, including injectors in the old 335, which should be here tomorrow, I hope. But that'll be a big deal, because that will allow us to make the next step, which includes MHD and go fast components. And we are just kind of wrapping it up with the maintenance stuff. So some good Q50 stuff that I filmed this weekend with the visitors, and again, more 335 stuff coming up as well. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one.